Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So in this video series, we'll discuss how fair it is to penalize all whites, all Jews, and all LGBT people in terms of dating, in terms of your assessment of their lives, in terms of your assessment of how much eternal punishment that you would want to see for them according to their deeds. This video is not about being racist. It's not about this or that. It's about universal justice. So for the last maybe week or two, the people who gang stalk people have messed up my eyebrows. They've messed up the nerves in my face or whatever they did to make it so my eyebrows have a weird arch and so it looks LGBT-ish. And they know that this has been a point of disagreement for years. I've been full of a lot of anger at them for doing things like that. And we all know that there's immature gays, and a lot of them lead the LGBT community, who like to play stupid about things. They're the type of people to rape a child and then to get people to gaslight that child with them so that they don't get in trouble with the law. They're the type of people to have connections in law enforcement, in the justice system, what have you. Freemasons. Everyone knows this. They don't just know from Epstein, they've known for a long, long time, unless they're a complete idiot. The gangsters in the hood, when they think about someone who doesn't understand that that's true, they think they're an idiot. Law enforcement, when they're being honest, when they think that someone doesn't understand that, they think they're an idiot. And so on and so forth. Scholars, you name it. So it's not something that everyone openly admits, but everyone knows that if you don't understand that you are a very stupid person. Very stupid. Very careless, very reckless, very scatterbrained, very senseless. So first of all, let's talk about what inspired this video series. The eyebrows. They did something funny with my eyebrows. They made them a little thinner than they would be. Kind of, Michael Aquino comes to mind, where the eyebrows seem to come up short. They use various substances to change the way they're shaped. With gay people, I'm not entirely sure what they do with their eyebrows, but they tend to wax them. They tend to have certain gene expression or some. Sometimes it's Jewish, sometimes it's white, sometimes it's, some kind of a mutation or something. I can't put my finger on it, right? Quite often they have on the spectrum of Down syndrome or autism, and they have certain looks. I usually say, they have a frat face. Quite often it's that fraternity face that you see so commonly. It's like George Bush and the guy who was like, 322, huh? 322. And they have this certain way about them. So the problem is bigger than that, though. Because whoever is not part of the solution is part of the problem. And they're doing it for white supremacy and for their image. Well, how do we know? Because they're still buying jewelry, they're still buying nice vehicles, they're still buying nice houses. And they think that if they make fun of Jesus, that them and their group will benefit from it. So if anyone has any loyalty to God whatsoever, they're penalizing their whole groups. Why? Not because of racism. It's stupid and evil to be racist. Again, it's stupid and evil to be racist. But because they are trying to benefit their groups, and their groups are rolling with it. And that is not right. And I'm being shunned by women partially because they're rolling with it in like every shape or form. Now, it's also everyone else, but again, who's it for? If in Nazi Germany, there's Jews rolling with it and there's blacks rolling with it in the concentration camp, with some dumb white racist idiot go, well, everyone else is rolling. Now, shut the fuck up, you punk ass bitch, would be the answer to that, right? And that God would hate that person and their family for raising such a pussy who can't even treat people fairly in regards to race. When everyone with any sense at all hates a racist and some bitch trying to benefit from racism. That is some pussy ass bitch made emasculated punk ass shit. And therefore, because it also inspires this response from Christ, whether he's provoked or not. We see in the Bible time again, Christ was indignant. He's chastising the Pharisees, he's chastising this and that, even chastising Peter. Says, get away from me, Satan, or get behind me, Satan, rather. So you can imagine that it's fair. So first and foremost, it should be enough to say that the divine verdict is that they all must be penalized, and we must always see whites, Jews, and LGBT people, no offense to anybody, as not as romantically appealing as other races because they've gone too far for too long with the eugenics, the newgenics, the transhumanism, with the gang stalking and playing stupid, the gaslighting, and on and on and on. Okay, this is what they did has profound implications on reproduction. Again, no one should reproduce. But on top of that, if you're white, Jew, or LGBT, you must accept more punishment or you're more cursed because of what you've done for white, Jew, and LGBT supremacy. So again, is it because that I'm magically racist? No, I'm part white. It's because of what they've done for white, Jew, and LGBT supremacy. Now, if someone's mulatto and they don't act like a whitewashed pussy or something, okay, should they be penalized? No, because it's not the same thing. When you do something for the white race, you basically don't do it for mulattoes. When you do something for Jews, you basically don't do it for mulattoes. When you do something for LGBT people, you don't do it for people who aren't LGBT, especially people that LGBT people team up on with other people because they lack the basic decency to not persecute the most righteous person ever lived. And as I'm sure you all know, this comes with consequences, but God's army is an army. God's army is an army. That means at every turn, in this life and in the afterlife, it must be held against them for yoking themselves to that process and not repenting by obeying God through me. Thank you.